So how did Kamala Harris go from being the most unfavorable vice president of all time to now leading in the polls for president of the United States? Let's talk about it. I mean, think about it. She hasn't done interviews, hasn't done anything unscripted. She only put out a few policies this past week, and they're still not even on her website. So what's going on? And full disclaimer, I want you to vote for whoever you want to vote for. I want you to have the opportunity to do that. I want you to feel good about it, but I want you to do it on the facts and not propaganda. So this article was from last summer and says 49% of registered voters have a negative view of Vice President Kamala Harris, which is the lowest rating out of any vice president polled. And to put that into perspective, Mike Pence had a 38% negative favorability. So this is her unfavorability and favorability over the past 2 years. And as you can see, it was growing worse and worse, and then all of a sudden, her unfavorability drops, her favorability increases. And obviously, this is the time period that Joe Biden stepped down. I want to challenge you here. What exactly happened that her favorability changed so dramatically? Like, yes, of course, Joe Biden stepped down, but what has she done differently that the voters' opinion of her changed so much? Well, whether you like this answer or not, it's money. About $750 million of it, to be specific. And how has this money changed how people view her? Well, in case you didn't know, all of their expenses and everything they take in has to be reported to the FEC. So these are the top expenses from Kamala Harris's campaign or the PACs that support her. And almost every single line item is on media, which is companies like this one. And all they do is they just put out ads. They send you mailers, they do the YouTube ads, they do commercial ads. But the thing is, Kamala Harris hasn't changed at all. It's just the perception that changed of her. And it's because of these big paid ads. And as we know, a lot of the money is also going to paid influencers. So there's a lot of paid hype around her. But again, she's leading in the polls right now against Donald Trump. As a marketer, I can tell you, it's not about policies, it's about perception, it's about branding. I watched the last day of the DNC and every single speaker had the same kind of script. They went up there, talked about how they came from nothing and had to work their way up, and now they are willing to work for us, the average middle American. Nothing was done on accident. That's the brand, that's the mission they're trying to sell, that they know what it's like being like us. I mean, they went as far as putting these two little girls in the front row to make sure they got this shot right here. Their advertising has psychology down to a science. I mean, think about it. Why do you think when you watch a movie, you get emotional sometimes, like it's actually happening in real life when it's actually fake? This is the same thing. It is fake. Because no one can actually talk about what Kamala Harris has actually done in her career to help us. Yet, here we are. They talk all about how Kamala Harris is here for us and how Donald Trump is going to end our republic. But I'm telling you, there will be a day, hopefully before the election, people will snap out of the fairy tale and realize, what has she actually done? What are her policies again? Over this next week, I'm not going to get into the glitz and the glamour and the branding of Kamala Harris. I'm going to get into the substance, her actual policies. I believe there's about 4 or 5 policies that she's come out with at rallies and stuff. They're not on her website, but I do want to go through them, like the $25,000 down payment for first-time home buyers and all that I'll go through. But as always, let me know your thoughts about all this. How do you feel about $750 million being spent on one person's campaign this election cycle, and that most of it just goes to advertising? And make sure you're following me for more.